Welcome everybody to my last MCE board meeting. Let's make it a good one. No fights. Nothing but fun. Okay, go ahead and call the roll, please.
Belvedere,
Here.
Benicia, Concord,
Here.
Contra Costa County, Puerto Madera,
Here.
Danville,
Here.
El Cerrito,
Here.
Fairfax,
Here.
Fairfield,
Here.
Lafayette,
Here.
Larkspur,
Here.
County of Marin, Martinez, Mill Valley, Moraga, Napa, Novato, Oakley,
Here.
Pinole, Pittsburgh,
Here.
Pleasant Hill,
Here.
Richmond,
Here.
Ross,
Here.
San Anselmo, San Pablo,
Here.
San Rafael.
I'm here. No voice up.
Thank you. San Ramon,
Here.
Sausalito,
Here.
Solano, Tiburon,
Solano's here.
Vallejo, Walnut Creek,
Here.
and I didn't get who said that. Who's here? Solano?
Yes.
Thank you. Quorum established.
Mill Valley also here.
Martinez is also here.
Thank you. Quorum established.
Okay, thank you. So the next item is board announcements, and I think I see some new faces here tonight. If any of you who are new to the board because of being elected by either your city or your city council would like to introduce yourself, go ahead. You don't have to, but
I'll start off. I'm Mark Armstrong. Although I am just recently went through the election, I've been an alternate for Scott Perkins. Scott's unable to attend the meeting, so I'm filling in for him tonight.
okay, welcome.
I'll go next. I'm Jim Lynch from Belvedere. I'm an alternate for Sally Wilkinson, our former mayor. I'm the new mayor of Belvedere, but she's not available tonight. And so I'm attending. Nice to see you.
Okay, anyone else? Well, congratulations to all you new mayors. So the next item, are there any other board announcements other than introductions? Anybody have anything they want to share? Okay, we'll move on.
Hi, Mayor Bud. It's Director Murphy. I just wanted to note that I'm here for the record.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next is public open time. This is an opportunity for the public to speak on any items that are not on the agenda or are on the consent calendar. Do you have any public speakers?
I see no raised hands, Chair.
Okay, next item is the one we're all familiar with, resolution number 2022-16, authorizing continued remote teleconference meetings for the board of directors and every committee of the board of directors pursuant to government code 54953E. Do we have any public speakers on this?
I see none.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I like to make a motion.
Second.
Okay, I had a motion by Scales Preston, I think a second by Quinto, is that right? Okay, let's call the roll, please.
Belvedere,
Yes.
Venetia, Concord,
Yes.
Contra Costa County, Corte Madera,
Yes.
Danville,
Yes.
El Cerrito,
Yes.
Fairfax,
Yes.
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lafayette,
Yes.
Larkspur,
Yes.
Marin, Martinez,
Yes.
Mill Valley,
Yes.
Moraga, Napa,
Yes.
thank you, Novato, Oakley,
Yes.
Pinole,
Yes.
Pittsburgh,
Yes.
Pleasant Hill,
Yes.
Richmond,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
San Anselmo, San Pablo,
Yes.
San Rafael,
Yes.
San Ramon,
Yes.
Sausalito,
Yes.
Solano,
Yes.
Tiburon,
Yes.
Vallejo, Walnut Creek,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. The next item 5 is the consent calendar. There are 2 items on it. Does anybody want to remove either one of them? I guess not. Do we have a motion on the consent calendar?
I'll move
it.
Okay.
Oh,
Motion
second.
by, motion by Dawson and second
Kohler.
by Kohler. Okay. Call the roll, please.
Belvedere,
Yes.
Venetia, Concord,
Yes.
Contra Costa County, Corte Madera,
Yes.
Danville,
Yes.
El Cerrito,
Yes.
Fairfax,
Yes.
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lafayette,
Yes.
Larkspur,
Yes.
County of Marin, Martinez,
Yes.
Mill Valley,
Yes.
Moraga, Napa,
Yes.
Novato, Oakley,
Yes.
Pinole,
Yes.
Pittsburgh,
Yes.
Pleasant Hill,
Yes.
Richmond,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
San Anselmo, San Pablo,
Yes.
San Rafael,
Yes.
San Ramon,
Yes.
Sausalito,
Yes.
Solano,
Yes.
Tiburon,
Yes.
Vallejo, Walnut Creek,
Yep.
motion carries.
The next item 6 is Western Systems Power Pool confirmation with Geysers Power Company.
Excuse me, Chair
LLC.
Butt,
Yes.
Chair Butt. I would like to conflict myself out for these next 2 items, 6 and 7. I'm going to turn my camera off and I will not participate or be part of this discussion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And we're going to have a presentation from Lindsay Saxby, who leads our Power Resources Department.
Great. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Chair Butt, and greetings, directors of the board. It's a pleasure to be with you this evening. Tonight, I will be presenting 2 geothermal contracts with a subsidiary of Calpine Energy called Geysers Power Company, LLC. Since the seller name and the project names are the same, I'll differentiate the contracts both by size, contract type, and build type. So one is a 7 megawatt power purchase agreement, or PPA, which is a new build resource. And the second is a 100 megawatt Western Systems Power Pool, or WSPP agreement, for an existing resource. Next slide. So these contracts originated out of MCE's annual open season process, in which we solicit offers for large-scale, new build, renewable energy, and energy storage projects. Next slide. The goal of open season is to fulfill our integrated resource planning targets by putting in place resources that will meet the energy needs of the future and provide certainty to our portfolio under long-term agreements. Not only do we want the energy supply, but we also want the suite of benefits these resources provide, which includes resource adequacy, or RA. And MCE, like other load-serving entities, are subject to CPUC procurement mandates. And through open season, we are ensuring that we are securing resources that will meet MCE's needs and also comply with the CPUC's recent midterm reliability mandate, which I will talk about in more detail later in the presentation. We solicit offers for product content category 1 energy, and this year we refined open season to best fit MCE's portfolio need. My team conducted an analysis of technologies that would add the best fit to our portfolio, which resulted in targeting wind, geothermal, and storage technologies this year. Next slide. Since tonight's contracts are both geothermal, I wanted to highlight why we target this technology. For our renewable energy, MCE's portfolio largely consists of wind and a fair amount of solar. So if you look at the hours of the day our existing resources are generating, we have some exposure in the shoulders, meaning the morning and evening hours of the day. So the chart on this slide is illustrative, but it gives you a snapshot of what a solar-rich portfolio would look like down the road in 2030. And I'll orient you to this chart a bit. The red line is our expected load profile, meaning how much energy our customers are expected to use in what hours over the course of a day. And then if you start from the bottom, the dotted blue line is the energy delivery profile of a geothermal resource. So you can see that unlike wind and solar, it delivers a very consistent volume of energy in all hours of the day. If you move up, the solid green line is what our energy supply portfolio would look like if we did not add any geothermal resources, if we remained with the status quo. And then the dotted green line above shows what MCE's supply portfolio looks like with geothermal. It effectively moves the line up and fills our open positions. And importantly, in those shoulder hours where we need the supply to match load. And again, those hours, those morning and evening hours also tend to be quite expensive if you don't have supply and are exposed to price on market prices. So while geothermal tends to be slightly more expensive as a technology compared to, say, solar, it is a hedge against expensive market prices and volatility in those expensive hours. Next slide. So we can see why geothermal is a really important asset to MCE's portfolio. However, there is another layer to our intent, which I mentioned previously, which is the CPUC midterm reliability, or MTR mandate. In this table on the slide, I think it should be familiar to a lot of directors. We've gone over it in some previous presentations, and it outlines each bucket, if you will, of MCE's portion of the MTR mandate. And I'm not going to go through each requirement, but I will direct your attention to the last row that's labeled clean firm. The specifications for this bucket of resources are really limited to two technologies, geothermal and bioenergy. And MCE's portion of this bucket is 29 megawatts of net qualifying capacity to be online by 2026. Next slide. And there's really good news when it comes to our work on completing procurement for each of these buckets. Your board has approved a number of contracts that put us well on our way to completing the MTR procurement mandate, including one of the geysers contracts tonight that would complete the clean firm bucket on the last row. And we'll also be tackling long duration storage next, but have been strategically holding on procurement until supply chain issues and high prices cool off from the procurement frenzy that took place as a result of these mandates. Next slide. As promised, we'll now review the two agreements. First, the 7 megawatt PPA and then the 100 megawatt WSPP agreement. The reason we use two different forms of agreements is that one type of contract contemplates a construction phase and the second does not. So the 7 megawatt PPA is a new build resource, which would contemplate that construction phase, and the 100 megawatt WSPP contract is with an existing resource and doesn't need that contract language. Next slide. So taking the 7 megawatt PPA first, this project will be located at an existing site in Sonoma and Lake counties, where Calpine will be adding 25 megawatts of new incremental capacity through new wells and steam collection systems. We are right-sizing our portion of the 25 megawatt new build project, specifically to meet our remaining need for MTR compliance, and are only taking the 7 megawatt slice of this more expensive MTR compliant resource. Next slide. The highlights of this project include 7 megawatts of incremental resource adequacy and energy delivered around the clock. The online date for this project is June 1st of 2025, and it has a 20-year term. And while Calpine will be posting security under the contract, MCE does not have any credit or collateral requirements. Next slide. Other notable terms include the seller or Calpine's financial incentives for performance, meaning that they will have to pay damages for underperformance of certain obligations. The project must be built with union labor, and the seller, Calpine, will be posting a security deposit through the construction phase and throughout the delivery term to ensure that all milestones are met. As we've been requiring in recent years, Calpine will also be making a one-time $50,000 cash contribution to benefit a local community adjacent to the project. They also have guarantees around providing resource adequacy, and the contract price is also fixed with no escalation throughout the term of the contract. Next slide, please. So next up, we have the 100 megawatt resource, existing resource under a WSPP agreement. This is at the same site as the new build resource, which has a total generating capacity of 725 megawatts. And MCE in the second contract will be taking a 100 megawatt chunk of this large complex under this agreement. Next slide. Like the 7 megawatt contract, MCE gets 100 megawatts of resource adequacy, and the energy will be delivered around the clock, meaning every hour of the day. Since this project is currently under contract with a different off-taker, our contract would not start until June of 2027. The contract is proposed for a 10-year term, and MCE again has no credit or collateral obligations under the agreement. Next slide. Calpine, on the other hand, will post $12 million during the delivery term, which is commensurate with the size of the agreement, to ensure certain performance metrics are met. And as with the other contracts, they will be posting a $50,000 community benefit cash contribution. They also have resource adequacy guarantees and a fixed price under the contract for the term of the agreement. Next slide. Since this is a rather large portion of the project, which is delivering energy around the clock, I wanted to show how this will impact our open positions. As you can see in the chart here in the top row, we have fairly significant open positions starting in 2027 by design. And a resource like this that outputs 876 annual gigawatt hours will reduce our open position in 2027 by 25%. Next slide, please. So wrapping up here, staff recommends authorizing the execution of the Western Systems Power Pool confirmation with Geysers Power Company LLC and the power purchase agreement with Geysers Power Company LLC, with the rationale that the energy and RA complement our needs. One of the resources also fulfills certain requirements of the MTR procurement mandate, And finally, the projects are developed and operated by an experienced team. So with that, I'm happy to take any questions at this time. And if there are no questions, I'd also like to turn to Directors Fong and Perry to share their thoughts on the agreements.
So Lindsay, one clarification. You've covered both projects in your presentation. I assume we need to vote on them separately. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll be voting on item 6 and then item 7. So meanwhile, are there any questions? Go ahead, Director Murphy. Devin, go ahead. You're muted. Let me. I think we're having technical difficulties. Let me go to Director Kelman, and I'll come back to you. Go ahead.
Great. Hey, thanks everybody, and thanks, Lindsay. I'm excited to hear about this. I do have 4 questions, and apologies if I missed any of this captured in the slide deck. I was taking notes. What is the delivery term under the contracts?
So the 7 megawatt PPA is 20 years. The 100 megawatt WSPP is for 10 years.
Okay, and then are transmission ancillary services rolled into the agreement?
Yes.
Okay.
There will not be any additional costs for those.
Okay, I was happy to see a flat rate, but oftentimes we use escalating rates to incentivize commercial operation. What is the commercial operation timing for each of the plants?
The larger project, 100 megawatts, is under a contract right now with another off-taker. So we have to wait until that contract rolls off before we can start our contract. So that would start in 2027. And then the new build smaller project, 7 megawatts, I think it's 2025. Sorry, I just went through it. But if we could pull up the slides again, it's on the slide. If you go to the 7 megawatt first section.
10-year term. Okay. What's the termination clause in each?
So if under the 7 megawatt contract, there is a cap on the termination payment. Sorry, I'm going to flip some notes here. And then the larger contract has a mark-to-market calculation for any, termination damage payments.
Okay, I might have to come back on that. And then I guess my last question is: Are renewable energy credits bundled with the sale of electricity?
Yes, they are.
For both?
Yes, it's a product content category 1, renewable energy for both agreements.
Okay, great work. Thanks, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Director Fong, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I had a chance to sit through a presentation with Lindsay earlier in the day, and we went through the contracts in total. And my recommendation is that we authorize the execution of the contracts. And I'll tell you why. One, Geyser is a subsidiary of Calpine, which is one of 3 major sellers of geothermal. And secondly, because Calpine is investing not just in geothermal, but a long-term investment in geothermal. They're the right partners for the long term. And at the same time, while we're committed to Calpines, or will be committed to Calpines, it doesn't put us at risk, because as we take a look at geothermal as a percentage of our total portfolio, it's a very small percentage, but it's the right investment in the longer term. The third comment I'll make is, even though the rates per megawatt looks high, especially for the new build, in the longer term, recognizing that we're relying less on solar, wind, and biomass, we need to start thinking about indexing against value, because that's what's going to determine success versus value. And we believe that Lindsay and her team, after they've done some financial modeling, it's definitely very favorable as an investment in the longer term when we're talking about an alternative to renewable energy. So anyway, that's my comment, and I would look forward to having staff continue to execute these contracts.
Director Perry, go ahead.
Yeah, I would concur with Director Fong on all of those points. I also got to sit through a presentation from Lindsay and Vicken, and both answered a number of questions that I had and Director Fong had as well. I would support and would be happy to make a motion to approve this contract. Thanks.
Okay, are there any questions from board members? Why don't we go to the public, then we'll come back for a motion. Are there any public speakers on this item?
I see no raised hands, Chair.
Okay, Director Perry, go ahead and make your motion.
I move to authorize this contract. And I
Well,
don't know
there's two, I think we have
specifically
to,
what we need to vote on here.
I think we have to take two votes. So why don't you do a motion for item 6, and then we'll follow that with item 7.
Turning to Lindsay, is there specific language I should state for the motion?
Yes, it's authorizing the Western Systems Power Pool confirmation with Geysers Power Company LLC. And it's agenda item 6 if you haven't had the agenda item up. We could also pull up the presentation.
Okay, is there a second?
Second. I'll second that.
Okay, motion by Perry, second by Fong. Let's take a roll call vote, please.
Belvedere,
Yes.
Benicia,
Yes.
Concord, Contra Costa County, Corte Madera,
Yes.
Danville,
Yes.
El Cerrito,
Yes.
Fairfax,
Yeah.
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lafayette,
Yes.
Larkspur,
Yes.
County of Marin, Martinez,
Yes.
Mill Valley,
Yes.
Moraga, Napa, Novato.
Concord, yes. I had a connection problem.
Thank you. Oakley,
Yes.
Pinal, Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Thank you. Pleasant Hill,
Yes.
Richmond,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
San Anselmo, San Pablo,
Yes.
San Rafael,
Yes.
San Ramon,
Yes.
Sausalito,
Yes.
Solano,
Yes.
Tiburon, Vallejo, Walnut Creek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, so we'll move to item 7. Are there any additional questions about item 7 from board members? Are there any members of the public to speak on item 7?
I see no
Okay.
raised hands, Chair.
Okay, we're ready for a motion on item 7.
All right, I move to authorize the power purchase agreement with Geysers Power Company LLC.
A second.
Okay, motion by Perry, second by Kohler. Roll call vote, please.
Belvedere,
Yes.
Benicia,
Yes.
Concord,
Yes.
Contra Costa County, Corte Madera.
Yes.
Danville,
Yes.
El Cerrito,
Yes.
Fairfax,
Yes.
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lafayette,
Yes.
Larkspur,
Yes.
County of Marin, Martinez,
Yes.
Mill Valley, Moraga, Napa, Novato, Oakley,
Yes.
Pinal.
Yes.
Thank you. Pittsburgh,
Yes.
Pleasant Hill,
Yes.
Richmond,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
San Anselmo, San Pablo,
Yes.
San Rafael,
Yes.
San Ramon,
Yes.
Sausalito,
Yes.
Solano,
Yes.
Tiburon, Vallejo, Walnut Creek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, the next item is item 8, report from the Chief Executive Officer. Dawn thought she might have some connection problems, but she looks pretty clear here, so.
Yep, I am. I'm actually in
Okay.
the MCE office, which is exciting. Got good connection here, so I know we'll all be back here in March. So I'm just sort of breaking it back in. Everything's working well. Although it's a little lonely here, I look forward to having you all back in person next year. But I wanted to start off by introducing you to 2 new staff members that joined MCE since the fall. First, we have Tanya Lomas, who joined in June 2022. She joined the Internal Operations Department as part of the second cohort for MCE's internship program that was really set up to create space for people to gain experience working in the renewable industry who might otherwise not have the opportunity to learn about the industry. Tanya is from the city of Vallejo and was interested in joining MCE to gain office experience and to learn more about CCAs. The internship program allowed Tanya to re-enter the workforce as an intern after taking a few years off to help raise her 2 children. During her time as an intern, she helped manage MCE's PlugShare account and helped run MCE's internal and external Zoom events, including our board meetings. And through all of her experience, she was able to get promoted to a full-time internal operations assistant just in late September. So she'll be continuing to help us with project management and meeting support and office administration. And during her free time, you can find her spending time with her family, and she also likes to travel. So keep an eye out for Tanya on the screen coming up in a meeting soon near you. Next, I wanted to introduce Joseph Kambarakan, who joined us on September 1st as the Technology and Analytics Project Manager. Joseph has over 15 years of experience in the utilities industry, and before joining us as a staff member, he worked with MCE as a contractor, and he helped develop our internal customer relationship management solution. So in his new role, he's going to collaborate across departments at MCE to create and maintain our CRM and other software solutions and really customize them to meet MCE's needs. He likes to go bicycling with his daughter, and a fun fact is when we reached out to him for his bio and photo, he got his 6-year-old daughter to take the photo. So if you look for him on our website, that will be the handiwork of his talented photographer who is his daughter. So that's it for the 2 new hires. We'll keep you posted on any additional members to the MCE team at our upcoming meetings. And I wanted to turn now to a little bit of kind of asking for any input you all might have related to interconnection challenges that folks might be facing in their communities. We've noticed that there's been a really increasingly high level of interconnection challenges with PG&E among many customers. And it's impacting all sorts of customers, including safety-related projects being delayed, like hospitals being unable to interconnect. But there's also been delays for folks trying to electrify their homes and businesses in large parts of Northern California. So we want to learn about these kinds of issues so we can help shed light on the problem with decision makers. So if any of you are aware of issues like this in your cities or counties or towns, please let us know so that we can engage with the CPUC on this sort of issue. Next, I wanted to let you know that we've just completed a video that's focused on the Pittsburgh Unified School District electrification work that they're doing in partnership with MCE. We created a video to highlight their work to share with stakeholders, and we're going to play it now. So here it goes.
MCE is committed to combating climate change by providing renewable energy at competitive rates through equitable programs that benefit the communities we serve. MCE believes in working together with community leaders like the Pittsburgh Unified School District in Contra Costa County.
We've installed solar panels at most of our school districts. We have electric buses. We have electric car chargers. We have a wind turbine. We are doing this battery resiliency adds on and takes this to the next level.
Working with the scholars here at the high school and at some of our other sites to be the climate leaders and change agents, as I like to call them, is something that we're extremely proud of. Our students are engaged in this process. They understand this process, and they just really get behind it, you know, and really want to make a tangible impact on the future.
With the help of MCE, the district is working on a battery storage project that will not only save money, but will also keep our schools going during a power outage. The school district is a great example of how the Pittsburgh community is reducing its carbon footprint and moving towards a cleaner environment for years to come.
All right, thanks for putting that on, and big shout out to the staff and the elected officials that helped us put that together. Really nice to showcase the work happening there. And then I just got two more items left. I wanted to let folks know that just today, the CPUC approved the Net Energy Metering 3.0 tariff, which is also called the NEM tariff, for customers with solar. And you might remember earlier this year, the initial proposed plan was highly contentious, and we actually worked with your board to submit a letter to the CPUC outlining our feedback, even though the tariff doesn't directly impact MCE. But the new approved tariff focuses on monthly bill savings, and the previously proposed fixed charges were removed, which we know customers were very concerned about. The newly approved net billing tariff must be implemented by the investor-owned utilities, including PG&E, within 12 months. So just wanted folks to know about that. This change doesn't impact MCE's net energy metering program, but we're happy to share additional details if anyone's interested. And then the last item is also just today, the CPUC approved the percentage of income payment plan, also known as the PIPP, which is aimed at reducing residential disconnections for electric and gas service. The pilot offers reduced flat monthly bills based on income levels, and it's expected to launch in February. We anticipate about 600 eligible MCE care customers in Richmond, San Pablo, Pittsburgh, Concord, and Vallejo, which are state designated disadvantaged communities, to participate in the one-year pilot. And Zay Perrin is on the video Zoom with us right now. He leads our customer care team and can answer any questions if folks have any questions about this PIPP plan. And that's it for my report. Are there any
Thank
questions?
you, Dawn. Anybody have any questions for Dawn on her presentations? Director Kohler, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. Zay, what's different about this pilot program than the CARE and FERA programs? Maybe you could just explain that briefly.
Certainly. So the percentage of income payment program pilots provides a 4% cap in relation to customers' income. So if we reference a customer that has between 0 and 100% of the federal poverty line, if we reference 50%, that means that they would be capped at a $37 per month energy charge. 75% of that would be electricity, and the other 25% would be gas. Anything above that would be subsidized by the program for that customer.
Okay, and just briefly, what kind of income levels does it take to qualify?
There are two tranches. There is the 0 to 100% of the federal poverty line, and 101% to 200%.
Okay, thank you very much, Zay. Thank you, Don.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you. We'll move on to item 9, MCE rate adjustment effective January the 1st, 2023. We had a very robust discussion on that in our last meeting, and we'll certainly, I'm sure we'll have another presentation and an opportunity to discuss it, but I think this is mainly an opportunity to move ahead on it. So go ahead with the staff presentation if we have one.
Yeah, we do. And it's going to be a much more abbreviated, as you mentioned, because we spent a lot of time covering this. But yeah, we've got a quick overview here from our finance team. And so I'll take it away, Garth and Justin. And I know we also have John DeLisi here with PEA.
Right. Well, good evening, MCE Board of Directors, MCE staff, and members of the public. So I'm Garth Salisbury, and I'm MCE's Chief Financial Officer and Treasurer. And tonight I'm also joined by JB Ackman, MCE's Director of Public Affairs, and Justin Kudo, MCE's Strategic Analysis and Rates Manager. And finally, as Don indicated, John DeLisi, who's the CEO of Pacific Energy Advisors. Next slide. So at the November board meeting, the board directed staff to prepare revised electricity rates that, if approved tonight, would become effective on January 1st, 2023. The proposed rate adjustments would increase MCE's average system rates by approximately 4 cents a kilowatt hour. Now, much of this proposed increase would be offset by expected reductions in the PCIA fees that our customers pay to PG&E. A schedule of the proposed residential, small, and large commercial rates were provided in the board package last week. So since the November board meeting, MCE staff has been communicating the possible rate adjustments to our customers. I'm now going to turn it over to JB Ackman, our Director of Public Affairs, to discuss those communications. JB?
Thank you, Garth. Could I have the next slide, please? Thank you. So just briefly, we've taken a number of steps to try and make sure that we are communicating with the public about the proposed changes. On November 20th, we ran half-page English and Spanish ads in a number of local publications across our entire service area. That was the intention of letting people know that the conversation was happening at this meeting, as well as what the intention was for those rate changes. We've had information up on our website. You can take a look at the website, the press release, and some coverage we've received regarding the proposed rate changes through the links provided here in this presentation, which you should have a copy of as well in your email. We also communicated to our customers via on-bill messaging, and we will be doing so again as the rates change. We provided a presentation to our Community Power Coalition and had a really fruitful discussion with them about reaching their constituencies with this information. We've used social media to communicate, as well as using our e-newsletter both this month and next to communicate the outcomes of your decision here tonight. If you have any questions about our communications, I am available to answer them.
Okay, thank you. Questions from board members?
Okay. Next slide, please.
I see some hands going up. Director Zorn, go ahead.
Thank you. This question may be a little out of order, but based on the geothermal discussion we were having in the last presentation, will this change or potentially negatively impact this rate change that we're just now passing?
May I take that, Gar?
Yeah, please, Vic, and please go ahead. Yeah.
Good question, Director Zorn. Short answer is no. Just to come to the point, like Lindsay explained in her presentation, we do the whole financial modeling of that. And when we started that, we took that all of our revenue requirements for that. So all such costs, which are the significant majority portion of our total budget that you will have an opportunity to vote on with the rate increase, is already captured in that. If an increase is needed when it's compounded in the future, we will need to come to the board to explain further what's going on. Absolutely. And I would love to see something that will drop prices. So that will be really good as well. But thank you for the question.
Yeah, I can't recall who it was that had said just a few minutes ago that the rates seemed high, and so that just made me nervous that we had approved a rate adjustment prior to approving this new contract. So thanks.
Yeah, that high rate for related, especially for the new build, the 7 megawatt option. Please remember that it's out of 1,250 megawatt of load that we're serving. So it's a minuscule amount that we are striving to get because of PUC requirements for us on what type of a resource to purchase for our RA requirement.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sure.
Other questions from board members? Okay, do we have any members of the public that wish to speak on this item?
I see no raised hands, Chair.
Okay, we're going to continue. So I'm going to actually turn it over to Justin Kudo.
I'm sorry. Okay, I didn't.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Director, but we do have a little bit more to go on this item here. So we kind of stopped midway for some questions, but there's a few more slides we want to get through before we put it up for the board's consideration.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn it over to Justin Kudo, MCE Senior Strategic Analysis and Rates Manager, to take it for the next few slides.
Thank you very much. I'm going to talk a little bit about the rate aspects here. A small update on what's changed since our last discussion for PG&E's 2023 rates since the last board meeting. PG&E has not published any updated rates yet, so the November rates that we discussed previously remain the best that are publicly available. Staff is considering that PG&E's November rate forecast may be a bit conservative due to forecasted costs for the final quarter of the year that are included in it. High prices of energy in this quarter are likely to be above PG&E's forecast, which would then push up their 2023 rates. So based on that, we do consider these figures conservative, but there's also a chance that once these numbers are updated, they could remain flat, or they could even be adjusted downward slightly. One update from this afternoon is that the CPUC has approved PG&E's generation cost recovery for 2023, which should confirm that PG&E will adjust its rates on January 1st. You may recall from previous staff reporting on this issue that there was some concern that this could have been delayed. This works out really well and makes sure that our rate changes are synced up for the beginning of the year. It's unlikely that we'll receive final January PG&E rates for the next couple of weeks, but we'll work to update the cost comparisons of our rates with theirs as they become available, likely at the beginning of the year. Next slide, please. On this slide, we provide side-by-side comparisons of what we expect total utility bills to look like for an MCE customer before and after both the proposed MCE rate increase and the coincident reduction to PG&E's PCIA rates. You can see that the rate increase would add approximately $19 in generation charges, about half of which would be offset by the reduction to the PCIA. Netted out, we expect the typical household utility bill will increase by about 4%, or $9.59 per month. I'll note that we are not considering changes to PG&E's non-generation rates here, as these are expected to be minor based on PG&E's publicly available information. And netted out, we expect the typical household utility, likewise, we haven't considered potential changes to gas rates, which are updated monthly by PG&E. I see we have a question.
Director Beckman, a question.
Thank you, Chair. But quick question, just for my own background here. What is the PCIA fee and why is it being mostly eliminated?
So the PCIA fee is a fee that's charged by PG&E that's allowed by the Public Utilities Commission to collect stranded costs from procurement made for customers that have left for CCA service based on contracted costs that PG&E had budgeted for beforehand, essentially. It's only based on the above market portion of those costs. So since the current market prices for energy are so high, the PCI as proposed for 2023 is essentially zero.
Thank you.
Next slide.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I'll begin some quick side-by-side comparisons of forecast costs for MCE's light green and deep green electric service as compared to the PG&E 2023 forecast. These tables match the figures included in the staff report. For the typical household, the light green service would provide a savings of about $3 per month, a little bit more than that, approximately a 2% savings compared to PG&E service. Please also note that there's a correction here to page 3 of the staff report, which should read $3 a month in savings as shown in these tables and consistent with other figures throughout that report. That report is going to be updated for the record. Deep green service is expected to be about 1% more expensive than PG&E. Of course, if PG&E's updated rates increase or if the updated PCIA decreases in their final rates, then deep green could still end up being less expensive than PG&E service. And finally, I'll note that while this is just a single rate schedule, the residential TOUC rate is the most common rate, and all other residential rates have nearly the same cost differential from PG&E. Next slide. Now, on this slide, we have the same figures, but for customers on the B1 rate, which is applicable to small business accounts. This is a representative example of small business rates, and other rates available to small business customers would also have very similar results. The cost savings as a percentage is the same as the residential comparison at 2%, but with a larger bill for higher usage. Proportionately, this results in an estimated savings of about $8 per month on light green service and a premium of about $3 per month on deep green service. Next slide. And here we see sample costs for another customer on a medium to large commercial and industrial rate, which these customers have bills in the thousands or more each month. A slightly larger 3% energy cost savings here on the light green service is shown, but with other PG&E non-energy daily metering charges, it does also come out to ultimately about 2% of the complete bill. Customers in this class have considerably higher usage than this and higher bills. So they can have considerably higher usage than this and higher bills, but we'd expect them to have the same 2 to 3% savings to most accounts in this class. Next slide. Turn it back over to you, Garth.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. So we wanted to give the board an idea of what this rate adjustment would do to MCE's bottom line. So if the board decides to go forward with this rate adjustment, it will go in effect January 1st, which would mean that it would be in effect during the last 3 months of our fiscal year. If you'll recall some of our earlier meetings and discussions around this, that current projections are that we would actually be a little bit negative for the year were it not for the possibility of a rate adjustment and affecting, again, just that last 3 months will put us, into the green, if you will. And we predict that to be somewhere around $45 million. Now, how does that compare with our actual reserve target? That would put our total reserves to just about $250 million, with a reserve target of about 336. So still well below that. For next year, for the next full fiscal year in 2023-24, our current projections are that it would result in a projected net increase to our net position, but actually, after we actually use some of those net amounts, we think it's about $100 million, closer to $100 million. So we project that our total reserves would be around $350 million at the end of the next fiscal year, and against a reserve target of $417 million. So again, not quite there, but making good progress if all costs and revenues come out as predicted. So next slide. So we'd now like to open it up for any questions as well, but staff is recommending that the board direct staff to implement the proposed rates effective January 1, 2023.
Okay, now, any additional questions from board members? I don't see any. How about public speakers? Do we have any members of the public?
I see no raised hands, Chair.
Okay, do we have a motion? Kevin?
Yes, I'd like
question.
No, I have a motion. I'd like to move adoption of this rate change effective January 1st.
I'll second it.
Okay, so motion by Haroff, second by Darling. Director Wagon Connect, you have a hand up? You have a question or something?
I was just going to second it.
Oh,
Thank
sorry.
you.
Okay. Okay, so roll call vote, please.
Belvedere,
Yes.
Benicia,
Yes.
Concord,
Yes.
Contra Costa County, Corte Madera,
Yes.
Danville,
Yes.
El Cerrito,
Yes.
Fairfax,
Yes.
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lafayette,
Yes.
Larkspur,
Yes.
County of Marin,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Mill Valley,
Yes.
Moraga, Napa,
Yes.
Novato, Oakley,
Yes.
Pinole,
Yes.
is that yes for Pinole?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Pittsburgh,
Yes.
Pleasant Hill,
Yes.
Richmond,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
San Anselmo, San Pablo,
Yes.
San Rafael,
Yes.
San Ramon,
Yes.
Sausalito,
Yes.
Solano,
Yes.
Tiburon,
Yes.
Vallejo, Walnut Creek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to item 10, resolution number 2022-17, increasing purchasing agents authority.
We're going to hear from Catalina Murphy.
Good evening, Board of Directors. I'll be discussing the proposed increase to MCE's purchasing agent authority. Next slide, please. So in 2018, your board adopted resolution number 2018-04, establishing the CEO as MCE's purchasing agent and providing for a purchasing authority of $100,000. And since 2018, MCE has seen significant growth. The amount of customers that we serve has increased by 228%. 4 more communities have joined MCE, and we saw a 400% increase in MCE's overall net position. Next slide, please. And MCE is on a trajectory of continued growth. As we can see, the projected revenues of this current fiscal year are $580 million, and MCE's revenues are expected to reach $700 million into fiscal year 2023-2024. And so with that growth, MCE's contracting needs would increase as well as programmatic opportunities to further MCE's mission. So as MCE grows, we continue to look to increasing efficiencies and streamlining our operations. So setting the purchasing agent authority at $400,000 really promotes that efficiency and responsiveness within MCE's operations to capitalize on those programmatic opportunities while not being subject to the timing of an applicable committee or board meeting. Approximately 17 of our current contracts would be captured under the new authority. And that ranges from routine legal or software agreements to run our operations to contracts implementing some of our customer programs. The increased purchasing authority would also capture new contracts that could come our way, such as we bring on energy storage resources. There are potential software needs to optimize those resources and effectively forecast them. MCE would be able to act quickly and nimbly to get contracting needs in place with such a software as those resources come online with an increased purchasing authority. Another example is our agreement with our scheduling coordinator. As we bring on new resources and manage more energy contracts, an increased purchasing authority would allow us to efficiently adjust any scope needs with such a vendor. And as MCE continues to promote our services and offerings, and an increased purchasing authority would simplify timelines for agreements with those vendors that offer advertising services. So agreements approved under the requested increased purchasing authority of $400,000 would always be within a board approved budget. And that authority, I'd like to make a minor correction on this slide and in the staff report for a transcription error, but $400,000 represents 0.06% of our current budget, which is still less than 0.1% of our overall budget. And so these materials will be updated for the record. Next slide. So with this, to promote our efficiencies and streamline our operations, staff recommend approving Resolution 2022-17, increasing the purchasing agent authority to $400,000. And I'm happy to take any questions from the board.
Questions from board members. I see Director Fong. Go ahead.
Yes, just a quick question. If the $400,000 threshold was in effect in 2022, what would have been the realized value by having more timely response or action taken to capture opportunities?
Yeah, I think what we can focus on is the staff time that is put into preparing materials for board members. 17 contracts covers a lot of materials that many staff members participate in to prepare, and then also to timely respond with our vendors so we don't have to delay to either catch an available board meeting or rush through in order to catch one that's going to happen right away. So I don't have a realized value specifically, but I think staff time is what's important, and it can take anywhere from 10 to 15 hours per contract to prepare those materials.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Director Darling, go ahead.
Just curious, of the 17 contracts, do you know what percentage of them are competitively bid versus sole source?
That's a good question. I don't have that on the top of my head, but I'd be happy to follow up with you.
And in the sole source process that you guys use, what kind of documentation do you use in that?
Certainly. We have a solicitation process, and what we follow is similar to the public contracting rules of the $60,000 for public works. We use that as our threshold to implement RFPs or other solicitations. And so many of these contracts would be excluded from that as professional contracts. So our legal contracts, accounting contracts, those wouldn't typically fall under our traditional solicitations, but we still perform solicitations and on those areas. I think in 2020, we did a legal services solicitation so that we're still trying to get the best value for MCE. And then there's other instances where, we may not have a full RFP run, but we're contacting multiple vendors to kind of see what pricing is, what's available product. So I don't have that exact percentage though.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Director Kohler, go ahead.
I think others were ahead of me, but I'll make it quick. Just wondering, Catalina, how did the rationale for the alternate come up, the $225,000? Was there some specific rationale that made that figure seem attractive?
Certainly. So what we've established with the 400,000 is kind of the sweet spot where we feel that the most contracts could be, we could translate that into value saved for the time that it takes to prepare and meet board meetings. But understand that that could be a very high number to jump from with 100K to 400K. And so wanted to provide the board an alternate option to consider that would still achieve a significant number of contracts. And so the 225 would put us in a position of 12 contracts at our current contracting to have been covered without under the traditional authority without having to go to a board for approval.
Thank you.
Director Beckman, go ahead.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Another background question, relatively new to the board and still familiarizing myself with our practices and processes. I was wondering, do we have a reporting mechanism in place, whether it's, a summary list on the consent calendar or something like that, where any uses of the signing authority since the prior meeting are reported to the board?
We have that in place for all of our energy procurement contracts that are in the delegated CEO authority. For the kind of operating transactional contracts, we don't have that in place, but often you'll find that information brought up in Dawn's CEO report, or as we present programs and introduce implementers through various PowerPoints and presentations by staff, we'll be mentioning vendors and the contracts that we've executed with them.
Thank you.
So this item did come to the executive committee, right? Kevin, we heard at our last meeting.
This is the first time that it has been brought. I do not believe this has been brought to the executive committee.
Trying to remember whether we discussed it or not. Okay, are there any other questions from board members? Are there any members of the public who wish to speak on this item?
I see no raised hands, Chair.
Okay, anybody have a motion?
So moved. Director
Okay,
Thier.
motion from Thier and second.
Second, Brianne Martinez.
Thorne. That's for the 400,000, right?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, good. Call the roll, please.
Belvedere,
Yes.
Venetia,
No.
Concord,
Yes.
Contra Costa County, Corte Madera,
Yes.
Danville,
Yes.
El Cerrito,
Yes.
Fairfax,
Yes.
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lafayette,
Yes.
Larkspur,
Yes.
County of Marin,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Mill Valley,
Yes.
Moraga, Napa,
Yes.
Novato, Oakley,
Yes.
Pinole,
Yes.
Pittsburgh,
Yes.
Pleasant Hill,
Yes.
Richmond,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
San Anselmo, San Pablo,
Yes.
San Rafael,
Yes.
San Ramon,
Yes.
Sausalito,
Yes.
Solano,
Yes.
Tiburon,
Yes.
Vallejo, Walnut Creek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 11 is review of member community needs and priorities, and this is a discussion, not an action item.
Yeah, and this is a follow-up from the discussion we held in our fall retreat. And this will be led by Tyler Brown, who is with our Public Affairs Department. So I'll hand it over to you, Tyler.
Thank you, and thank you everyone for having me. My name is Tyler Brown, and I am a Community Development Manager here at MCE. I'm here to discuss some follow-up from the progress our organization has made since our last discussion about your member community. Next slide, please. Okay. So during the MCE board retreat in September, we asked board members 2 questions. What are the needs and barriers in your community? And which communication channels and messages are most effective in your community? Our goal was to gather insights that would improve MCE's communication, engagement, and program strategies that would respond to the unique needs of your communities. Today, we will discuss which themes were revealed from your insights and the tangible deliverables that we created as a result of your feedback. Next slide. So this is a graphic drawn in real time by our graphic reporter, Emma Richard. While we discussed our community needs and priorities, Emma captured your insights graphically. This is an internal document that we now reference when considering our engagement, communication, and program strategy. Next slide. We categorized your feedback into themes. Tonight, we'll review each theme, the goals we created for each theme, and associated deliverables. Next slide. Board members recommended that we improve website navigation, increase website translation, and increase materials available in different languages such as Spanish so that our website is more accessible for community members. As a result of your insights, we completed 3 deliverables that will improve the user experience and accessibility of digital and printed materials for our customers. Next slide. Here's a visual representation of the changes that we've made to improve accessibility of our web, digital, and printed materials. As you see in these graphics, our new large rectangular menus and group navigation options eliminate scrolling, and we use icons to explain users' choices. This design choice accommodates the vast amount of information available to customers on MCE's site and reveals subpages that were previously hidden. By transitioning to what we call a mega navigation style menu like this one, we improve the user experience by making all pages visible and readily accessible to various end users on desktop and mobile. As a reminder, any website content can be translated using the Google Translate plugin. We also provide in-language Spanish pages on our site, such as our lower bill, care FARA, and residential proposed adjustment page. All of our new enrollment pages are available in Spanish. And in the new year, our new move-in page and understanding your bill page will go live in Spanish. Another deliverable that we have is that we made sure that all digital and printed residential program collateral that includes important information about bill savings and incentives are available to customers in both bilingual English and Spanish. We also developed a residential customer insight strategy to help inform how we communicate to various customer groups to ensure our messaging is clear and accessible. All of our teams at MCE consider the top languages that customers request their bills in to ensure their messaging is reaching the communities that we serve. Next slide. We heard from you that deep green enrollment and incentivizing deep green for customers with low income is a priority. As we know, deep green as a default for new customer accounts was approved by your board to begin in January, and all low income customers on the care or FARA discount rate will be exempt from paying the deep green cost service premium, including our existing deep green care customers. As a result of your insights, we worked on the following deliverables. We presented to the Deep Green policy decision to our Community Power Coalition group in August and October. There, we collected valuable feedback from community-based organizations in your communities who are also interested in helping us inform their communities about the change. We are now setting one-on-one meetings with community-based organizations to coordinate community messaging. We also continue to offer our Green Access programs to eligible customers in disadvantaged communities. This program is available to residential customers who are enrolled in care or FARA and who live in a qualified disadvantaged community. This program provides them with 100% renewable energy, as well as a 20% discount on their monthly electric bill. The target enrollment capacity of this program is around 3,200 customers. This target capacity is based on our annual program allotment of 1.3 gigawatt hours, and over 12 full months of the program, we build out 1.1 gigawatt hours. To date, we have distributed over 720,000 in credits to these customers. The Green Access Program, coupled with our new Deep Green default policy, will widen access to cleaner renewable energy for many historically underrepresented communities impacted by greenhouse gas emissions. Next slide. We also heard that as board directors, you are excited to share information about MCE's programs and services. Internally, we considered how we can improve our information sharing with you so that it is accessible and easy to share on your own platforms and information channels. The following deliverables are available to you to share information about MCE programs and services in your community. We are currently developing our second annual end of the year individual board director reports, where you can find relevant stats on local staff, community event, and program participation in 2022. These will be released in late January 2023. In 2022, we've made presentations to more than 10 member community councils to date. We are excited to be working with you now as we offer to schedule presentations at your city councils or board of supervisor meetings. We appreciate all of the responses that we've received so far. With many council meetings falling on the same days, this process will most likely take us into the second and third quarter of 2023. Next slide. Seen here is a visual of our monthly board updates. You know about these. Based on your feedback, we've made our social media share content more clear and have included how-to directions to share on your LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter pages. There you have it. Share the post. And then let's talk about EVs and post. Next slide, please. We heard about the importance of partnering with nonprofit community-based organizations, or CBOs, through education, coordination, and school partnerships. Since the board retreat, we've done the following to improve nonprofit education, coordination, and information sharing. We began training our nonprofits as a part of our Community Ambassador Program. This is a paid partnership where our nonprofit partners promote and educate community members about MCE programs and services. Up Valley Family Center in Napa is our first community ambassador. We're also coordinating community listening sessions with the East Contra Costa Community Alliance, or ECA, that are being hosted by 17 Contra Costa-based nonprofits. By coordinating listening sessions with community members, we are better able to understand community needs, create more responsive programs and resources in coordination with ECA's member nonprofits. There are opportunities coming to do similar work in additional counties in our service area. Next slide. We also thought deeply about how to leverage our school partnerships to disseminate information about MCE's services and programs to our communities based on your feedback. Similar to our Community Ambassador Program with nonprofit organizations, we currently partner with schools to educate students and faculty about climate justice and how to leverage MCE's programs and services to educate their larger communities. For example, for the past 2 years, we partnered with the Marin School of Environmental Leadership to host bi-weekly environmental education seminars. Over 29 grade students have learned about how MCE helps to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and advance climate justice. As a result, students have done outreach at 25 community events and have written articles in the Marin IJ on MCE's success in advancing climate justice and reducing environmental hazards. We've seen similar success in other counties as well. Through our partnership with Coalition for Clean Air, we supported over 200 plus young people at Pittsburgh High to sign a climate pledge and design activities around air pollution. We sponsored and facilitated a career forum with Sustainable Youth and Leaders in Action in Contra Costa County, a coalition of 60 young people who put together newsletters to educate young people about green jobs and sustainability. Each year, youth throughout our service area partner with MCE in our Because of Youth campaign. During this campaign, youth highlight sustainability work being done in our communities on social media, giving MCE visibility into our member communities. Using these existing partnerships as a model and considering your feedback about the importance of school partnerships in reaching communities, we are developing a schools outreach strategy to identify Title I school partnerships to connect families in disadvantaged communities to build savings programs and services. We recently presented to San Rafael High School about MCE and climate action to kick off our intentional school outreach. Students there were able to bring back information to their families and larger communities about how to conserve energy and save on their bills. Next slide. We heard from board members the importance of creating targeted messaging to different customer groups, as well as developing collateral that comprehensively highlights all of our program offers and offerings that will be easy to share at community meetings with city staff and council and even neighbors. We worked on deliverables to make existing information more comprehensive and easy to share. Next slide. As previously discussed, our website and one-page collateral pieces in English and Spanish cover many of the topics that were of interest to you, such as bill savings programs, residential multifamily programs and incentives, EV rebates, the EV charging incentives, electrification content on development ordinances and addressing worries about grid reliability, and information on the advantages of electric heat pumps and our green jobs programs. We disseminate these collateral pieces during events and in meetings with city staff and CBOs, and would like to encourage additional opportunities to highlight these program links on our city and county websites. Integral to our customer education strategy is our robust membership chambers throughout our member communities, which include participating in business events, meetings, and contributing to our monthly chamber newsletters to educate chamber members about sustainability. Next slide. As a result of your insights, we are also developing a customer programs directory, a brochure that succinctly and comprehensively describes programs and services offered to our customers in one collateral piece. This visual is a preview that will continue to refine over the next coming weeks. We are planning to release this at the end of January 2023. Next slide. To wrap up, we heard from you about the desire for robust incentives to encourage electrification and hydrogen infrastructure. We also heard the need to leverage grants to bring more incentives to communities. As a result of your input, internal teams are working together to identify areas where we can streamline our process of communicating grant opportunities to municipalities and nonprofits. In our latest successful endeavor, our outreach resulted in 23 municipal and community organizations across our services signing letters of commitment that could bring $1 million to support public EV energy. This grant includes a participatory resident process and focus groups to prioritize needs of communities with low income. MCE is currently awaiting award information from 2 electrolytic green hydrogen proposals to the governor's office. We will keep you updated on the status of these rewards and look forward to working with you to bring this infrastructure to fruition. We also heard about the importance of bringing additional electrification programs such as appliance rebates and induction cooktop loaner programs. An induction cooktop loaner program run by Frontier Energy for PG&E is currently available to all of our customers. We continue to monitor the success of this program, as well as East Bay Community Energy's in-house program. In addition, both Bayerman and PG&E have appliance rebate programs available to customers. We will also continue to monitor these programs, as well as make information about these programs more accessible to MCE customers. We will continue to consider the availability and success of these existing programs before committing budget dollars towards internal programs. Next slide. Thank you for your insights and for taking the time to help us improve our engagement, communication, and program strategies. We're always excited to hear your insights. Please share them with our customer and community engagement team at engagement@mcecleanenergy.org.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say, I really appreciate that monthly board activities update. I send it out on all our social media, and I get quite a bit of play on it.
Awesome.
So questions from board members or comments? Director Haroff, go ahead.
Not really a question, but just a comment. First of all, Tyler, I thought that was a terrific presentation. It was crisply done. It was thorough. It educated, I think, all of us about the character and the scope of our community outreach efforts, in really just a very positive and rewarding way. It just it's a sign to me of the level of sophistication that we are now achieving in these areas that is rapidly approaching our principal competitor. And that is an exciting development from my point of view. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Kohler. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Tyler. That was a really good presentation. A couple of things that I've been thinking about, and one I asked Sebastian about, is rather than just monitoring rebate programs, I think it would be great if we had a portal through our website that goes to as many rebate programs as possible for switching to electrification, anything that will help. And it's not just BayREN and PG&E. There are other programs, and they're more difficult to find. The other thing I'd like to see is a portal on our website for the various programs that people can access, like CARE, FERA, the new PIP program. I did a lot of this when I worked at the Air District, and I can tell you it's quite a feat to find everything. And I think it will save, a lot of younger people in particular prefer to do things online, but it will also save some customer service time. If people can find it easily, they might just have one or two questions to ask. And so I'd like to think about that in the future. And thank you so much. Great work.
Thank you so much. I know that Sebastian is working with our marketing team on a possible electrification page that will do exactly what you're asking. And we will, I wrote down, or we are writing down, I have some people here writing down your suggestion for future websites ideas.
Director Zorn, go ahead.
Thank you, Tyler, for the presentation. I just want to reiterate the compliment about how wonderful the presentation was and all the great information. I got really excited when you showed the portion of the website where you can share on social media and LinkedIn. Super, super helpful. And that's something that, I've actually asked some of our staff at the city if they could do something like that for us. So thank you for doing exactly what I've always wanted. And I'll probably be forwarding this on to our city staff as an example. One thing, just as an aside, if there's ever a time when you would like us to actively be posting, don't hesitate to reach out and let us know, since you've clearly laid out a very easy way for us to get the word out. Just send us an email, like I think some of the other folks have done for various legislative initiatives. Let us know. We'd be happy to repost on social media.
Thank you so much.
Director of Skills Preston, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Tyler, for the wonderful presentation. I also like the fact that you all are engaging our youth, and thank you for putting out the time and investing in them to teach them climate, environmental issues, and conserving. I know on your presentation, you mentioned that you was in the city of Pittsburgh, and I just want to thank you and Don and the whole MCE team for your investment you have made in the city of Pittsburgh and my community. It's a community that's definitely needed. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Director Thier, go ahead.
I thank you, Chair Butt. I just wanted to thank you and say that I'm really, really impressed that, after the retreat, that staff worked so quickly, not only to come up with the presentation, but also to implement what directors were saying. And that kind of responsiveness, I think, is really what defines MCE and our wonderful staff. And I loved the presentation. I thought it was fantastic. And I just wanted to thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Director Dawson, go ahead.
Thank you. I want to concur with what's been said before, but also compliment the web team. The site is really wonderful. It's very easy to navigate, and there's a lot of information there, and it's just really simple to get to. So I appreciate that when I'm trying to go back and forth between different things. So thank you. It's a really good job, very clear and concisely laid out. And I'll look forward to that page on electrification that Sebastian may be working on, because that will be a great resource for a couple of our commissions. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions from board members? Are there any members of the public who wish to speak on this item?
I see no raised hands, Chair.
Okay, all right. Well, that brings us to item 11, item 12, I guess, which is a series of sayonaras. So the first, Item 12 is Resolution 2022-18 honoring Chair Tom Butt. Whoever
Yes.
that is.
Whoever that is. This is a transition into the very bittersweet part of our agenda this evening. And we have a couple of surprises along the way, but starting off with this item, we have some highlights from the resolution that are going to be read by Director Scales Preston. And then if there are comments that board members or staff would like to make regarding Chair Butt, you'll be welcome to do so. And because Director Butt has been our chair, fearless leader for a couple of years, in addition to the many years that he's served on the board, we do have a parting video that we're gonna play as part of this item. So that's one of the surprises. And we're not gonna start the video yet, actually. We're gonna start with the resolution. Yeah, thank you so much. And I also wanted to point out that this is a very unusual time that we have 4 board members that are departing MCE that have served on the MCE board for 5 years or more. That's typically what triggers us doing a resolution. But as we go through these, they each have made very special contributions. So I'm going to hand the mic over to you, Director Scales Preston, to read some of the highlights from the resolution.
Thank you so much. And I am excited that I have the honor to present the resolution virtually. This resolution is from the Board of Directors of MCE honoring Board Chair Tom Butt. Whereas Tom King Butt was the driving force that led the city of Richmond to request membership in MCE. And whereas the city of Richmond executed the Joint Powers Agreement establishing membership in MCE on July 15th, 2012. Whereas Tom Butt was elected to the Richmond City Council in 1996, with the most recent 8 years in service as mayor. And whereas Chair Butt was appointed to MCE Board of Directors on November 1st, 2012, as the first board representative from Richmond, where he has served for 10 years on behalf of the city of Richmond, additionally serving as chair of the board, vice chair, and as a member of the executive committee, ad hoc contracts, ad hoc rate setting committee, and ad hoc committee for virtual power plant. And whereas Chair Butt leadership, drive, and dedication was instrumental to the development and construction of MCE's Solar One, the largest publicly operated facility in the Bay Area, a 10.5 megawatt solar system in the city of Richmond, built with the partnership of Richmond Build. And whereas Chair Butt represented his Richmond constituents skillfully and effectively as a member of MCE Board of Directors, championing the agency during the Contra Costa Mayors and Industrial Association meetings. Whereas under his leadership, MCE has drastically reduced carbon emissions by bringing over 900 megawatts of new renewable power onto the grid, launching numerous local programs for energy efficiency, electric vehicles, solar, and battery storage, and have saved customers an estimated over 90 million on energy bills. And whereas Chair Butt inspires integrity, forthrighteousness, and has embraced a commitment to climate action displayed by his leadership and his thoughtful service. Whereas the MCE Board of Directors and staff thank Chair Butt for his support and engagement with the agency, its mission, and its vision. And hereby extend to Tom Butt our appreciation for his dedicated service our congratulations on his future endeavors and our best wishes for his continued success, happiness, and good health in the years to come.
Thank you, Chanel. Are there any questions or comments from board members? I don't see any. Are there any from the public?
I see no raised hands, Chair.
Okay.
I see one. We have Director Thier has a hand up.
Okay, go ahead, Director Thier.
So do you think you're getting off that easy? So I just wanted to let you know, Chair Butt, what an absolute pleasure it's been serving on this board with you. I'm still fairly new, even though we got a lot of other more new people that came in, but the way that you have managed the meetings during the tough issues, during the easy issues, you've done an admirable job, and I can say you're a role model to all of us. And then recently, I was even more impressed when I saw you on TV with the work that you're doing for the homeless in your community. And I was so impressed that you took the bull by the horn and made something happen that maybe everyone wasn't helping you make happen. And I just really want to commend you on your leadership on the core of who you are. You know, in this political world, there's certain people that really, really believe what they're doing, and you are one of them. And I'll be forever in your debt for your leadership and your grace. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, Holly. Director Haroff, go ahead.
Well, Holly just said everything I was going to say. So I'm not going to repeat what she said because that would be tedious. But I do want to thank you, Tom, for everything you've done and for your support of me personally in the various activities and efforts that I've pursued as part of this organization. Not only by example, but by your words and your deeds. It's been a pleasure for me to have that experience. It's been a rewarding experience. We'll miss him. And we wish you the best of luck and hope you don't go far.
Thank you, Kevin. Director Rice, go ahead.
Yeah, Tom, I wish I knew you had the opportunity to work with you more in person. It's been pretty much all virtual. I just want to say on behalf of the County of Marin and the former chair of MCE, Director Catherine Sears, and our appreciation for all you've done as sort of really carrying the torch in spreading the value, the benefit, the access of marine clean energy, MCE, and CCAs. You have been a leader in the Bay Area with regards to clean energy, and I admire you with regards to your work here, and as the directors before me have noted your other work as well. Really a leader in so many ways, and I hope there's an opportunity to work with you personally in the future on other issues. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's see, Eddie Burson, go ahead.
Well, Tom, I'm not going to be, the echo machine, although most everything was correct. I do want to say that I really do appreciate the way you have run the meetings here, and hopefully I can continue some of that in other fields. However, I will always remember you as the one who made sure that the city of Richmond does not allow space weapons of aliens over their city. And you have been so successful that you have not issued a single ticket for violation of alien space weapons. And I really appreciate that sense of humor, and keep up the good work. And don't forget, if we can't laugh at ourselves while we're in office, what the hell good are the people? So there you go.
Thank you, Eddie. Jamie Tuckey, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Chair Butt. I just want to let you know on my own behalf, and I think on behalf of the rest of the staff at MCE, that we're going to miss working with you so much. It's been amazing to have you as the chair. I've really personally appreciated all of the shouting from the rooftop that you've done with your constituents about MCE. I know we can always count on you to share the e-news and your own email blasts with your social media. And that was a huge benefit to us. And I also will never forget getting to go to COP21 with you and a group of us from MCE and some other members to go to Paris and talk about MCE on a huge platform where there were 40,000 people from almost 200 countries. And I thank you so much for your leadership and everything that you've done for MCE, and wish you the very best.
Thank you, Jamie. Director Wagenknecht, go ahead.
Thank you, Tom. That's all.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I need to do a brief response, and I just want to say, it's been a great ride. I've been on the Richmond City Council 28 years, eight of them as mayor. I've served on at least a dozen regional, statewide, national boards and commissions, and MCE is clearly the highlight of all that. The staff of MCE is just incredible. This organization is involved in so many highly technical things, and the volatility of the energy market and all that. And this staff just soldiers on and just takes care of everything. And my board colleagues, you're a great group of people. I wish we were in person. I wish we were all going out for a drink after this, but maybe I'll find you somewhere. And just a couple of highlights. Jamie brought one of them up. My wife Shirley and I and Dawn and Jamie were all in Paris in 2015 for COP21, which was just an incredibly exciting thing. And we were there actually to educate people about CCAs. And that was our purpose of being there. And of course, what happens in Paris stays in Paris, but we did have a good time. And, I think the other highlight of my time has been, it's already been mentioned, but it's been doing the Solar One project in Richmond. That was very exciting. And every time I go by there, I'll look at it and I think, what a great partnership with the people who put that together. So, this is kind of like a college graduation. I'm going through this with all the boards I serve on. They kicked Brad and me off of BCDC today. And, so here we are doing it again tonight. So like I said, it's kind of like graduating and everybody's going their different directions, but we'll have a reunion. So thank you for all your kind words. And Dawn, did I see you with a hand up a minute ago, or?
Yeah, I did want to add one thing, and then I'll transition us over to the video. But I just wanted to add something that hasn't been said, that is another great contribution that you brought to MCE is just your weight in the legislative realm. We brought you to some of our key meetings during legislative sessions that were particularly difficult, and folks went running and scattered when they saw you coming down the hall and wanted to make sure they knew which way you wanted them to go. So it might be a little known fact, but when Tom Butt speaks in Sacramento, people listen. And I also wanted to just acknowledge and thank you for being such a champion for us when there were hurdles. You have an amazing ability to cut to the chase, get things done quickly, and You've helped with overcome a lot of hurdles with some of the projects that we've been working on together, and you know what those are. And you run a great meeting, and it's just been such a pleasure to work with you all these years. Every time I have a one-on-one meeting with Director Butt, I come away with a page of notes of ideas and things we could be doing, and I really appreciate that. And it's you've helped grow the agency quite a bit and left quite a legacy. So with that, I'd like to turn us over to this video, which we'll be handing off
video.
to you. Video, which you get to keep. I first had the honor of meeting Director Butt in 2011 when he reached out about the city of Richmond becoming a member of MCE. At that point, Director Butt had already served 18 years on the Richmond City Council, and he deeply understood the interconnected nature of the use of fossil fuels, public health, and community equity. From the very start, Director Butt was a staunch advocate as we rolled out MCE's renewable energy service to the residents and businesses in Richmond. And in fact, Richmond residents soon overtook all the existing member cities and towns with the highest percentage of deep green enrollments.
Hi, my name is Tom Butt. I'm Mayor of City of Richmond. I believe the City of Richmond joined MCE about 2013. We were the first city to expand out of Marin County. You know, based on my personal experience as an MCE customer, you know, first of all, it makes me feel like that I'm doing something to fight climate change in the world, and I'm doing it locally.
After Director Butt helped Richmond join MCE, the floodgates opened, and the cities and towns across Contra Costa County, and then Napa, and then Solano began to request membership, growing MCE to a current membership of 37 communities. Also, with his guidance and support, we were able to build one of the largest public-private solar projects in the Bay Area on a brownfield site at the Chevron refinery in Richmond, bringing much-needed clean energy jobs to local residents.
This project is something that not only will provide renewable power for Richmond for decades, but it's something that gave back. It put a lot of money back into the economy. It created a lot of jobs, and it initiated a career path for a lot of young people in Richmond who are now out working in the industry.
During his time on MCE's board of directors, Mayor Butt has served both as vice chair and chair. He helped shape MCE into the organization we are today. While we will deeply miss Director Butt's thoughtful leadership, we are excited for him to begin his next chapter after 27 years in public service. Thank you, Director Butt, for serving MCE these last 9 years. You will always be a part of the fabric of this organization, and your work at MCE leaves behind an amazing legacy.
Okay, well, thank you again, everyone, for your kind words. And we have several more people we have to say goodbye to. So let's move on to item 13, resolution 2022-19, honoring Director Denise Athos.
Wonderful. And we are going to have a presentation from Director Barbara Kohler on this item. And I want to thank our former Director Athos for joining us this evening to be part of this item. So thank you very much, Denise, and I'll hand the mic over to you, Director Kohler.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'm just going to read some highlights. Whereas Denise Athos was elected to the Novato City Council in 2009, where she has served 3 terms as mayor. Whereas the City of Novato executed the Joint Powers Agreement establishing membership in MCE on October 7, 2011. Whereas Director Athos was appointed to serve as the first representative from Novato on the MCE Board of Directors on January 5th, 2012, which by the way was my birthday, where she has served for nearly 11 years, additionally serving as auditor and treasurer of the board, as a member of the executive committee, the ad hoc expansion committee, the Ad Hoc Contracts Committee, and the Ad Hoc Rate Setting Committee. Whereas Director Athos pushed for local jobs and local energy and was a key partner in the development of the renewable energy sites in Novato, including at the Buck Institute and the Cooley Quarry. Whereas Director Athos represented her Novato constituents skillfully and effectively as a member of the MCE Board of Directors, playing a key role in advocating for MCE within the Marin Climate Partnership and connecting the agency to the Novato Sustainability Commission. Whereas Director Athos served on the Housing and Urban Development HUD Countywide Priority Setting Committee for 10 years, wherein the committee allocated HUD funds to nonprofits for much needed services, capital projects, housing for disadvantaged communities of color, people living below and at the poverty level, people living with disabilities, survivors of domestic partners, and the unhoused. Whereas Denise Athos served on the countywide assessment of the Fair Housing Advisory Group, one of two electeds, myself being the other, with community-based organizations representing the Canal Alliance, Marin Center for Independent Living, Marin Community Fund, Legal Aid of Marin, Marin City, St. Vincent de Paul's Society, Ritter House, Fair Housing Advocates of Northern California, and more. And one thing to add is we were the group that brought just cause eviction to the county of Marin, our big success. Whereas Director Athos inspires joy and empowerment and has embraced a commitment to climate action displayed by her leadership, her conscientiousness, and thoughtful service. And whereas the MC Board of Directors and staff thank Director Athos for her support and engagement with the agency, its mission and vision. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Directors of MCE that and MCE Board and staff do hereby extend to Denise Athos our appreciation for her dedicated service, our congratulations on her future endeavors, and our best wishes for her continued success, happiness, and good health in the years to come.
Aw, thank you so much. That's incredible. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you, Barbara. I just realized these are all action items, so we'll finish with Denise, and then we'll go back and take care of mine, then we'll move on. So, are there other comments from board members?
I wanted to mention something.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. I wanted to say congratulations to my colleague and my fellow Elsa Reeton, and I know I appreciate your leadership through the years here at MCE, but also when I just got appointed to the board of the League of California Cities, and I want to thank you for that. Thank you for your mentorship, and thank you for being there for the newbies like myself. And I look forward and knowing on what and seeing what your new chapter will be. So again, thank you for your leadership, Denise.
Thanks so much, Gabe. I appreciate it.
Director Thier, go ahead.
Hey, Denise. Hi. So, I don't want to really talk that much about your service on MCE board, but I will. I'll say you've been amazing. You've been fabulous. And I'm going to really miss you here, but I'm really going to also miss you in Marin. And, I remember being a brand new council member and going to MCCMC and not really knowing what it was. And you were so welcoming and so kind and encouraged me to participate. And, that's also how you are on this board. And I really hope that you're not going to be a stranger. I hope you're going to stay involved. And I don't really know what retirement is. I don't think it's ever going to happen to me. I'll be working till I'm 105. But anyway, I really want to wish you well. And I want to say, please don't go away, because it's just not going to be as much fun without you.
Thanks, Holly. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Go ahead, Dawn.
Thank you. I just wanted to go back to the early days, Director Athos, when we had newly launched and the city of Novato was contemplating joining MCE, and you were really engaged and paying attention and eager to be the very first board representative as soon as the city of Novato joined MCE. And that was a really exciting time. Our board was much smaller then, and we really relied on all of the board members to provide a lot of guidance in those early days. And you are really instrumental in helping us with a lot of key decisions in those early days. And you've continued to be a very steadfast part of our core. So thank you for your many years of contributing and helping to grow this agency into what we are today.
Thank you, Dawn. I really appreciate it.
Jamie, go ahead.
Thank you, Director Athos. I also want to thank you so much for your many years serving on our board. I have to say, it truly feels like this marks the end of an era with you stepping down as one of our very first board members. I've really enjoyed getting to work with you, and I've really appreciated also how kind and warm you are. And just, from 10 years ago through today, I really have always appreciated your recognition for our work and the contributions of staff, even if it was just a wink at a meeting. So thanks for all that you've done for us. And on behalf of the other staff at MCE, we wish you all the best and hope that we get to see you again.
Thank you so much, Jamie. I appreciate it so much.
Director Beckman, go ahead.
Thank you. I'll be brief. I just wanted to thank you, Denise, for all of your contributions, not only at MCE, but throughout your career as an elected official. Since I was first elected, you've been certainly a role model for me and somebody that I have looked up to from day one. It's your principles, it's your values, it's the way you treat other people. And I think that is just so important. So I just wanted to thank you. I think you've been really instructional to a lot of us.
Oh, that's so sweet, Eli. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I feel like I've been going to my eulogy over and over and over again lately. It's nice to be present at it, though. I do have to say that. Thank you. Thanks so much.
So I thought it was true, and I just looked it up and confirmed it that Denise was there when I arrived. So she's a real old timer in this organization, and but she's really set a great example. She's served on, I think, every committee in MCE and worked really hard, and she certainly earned the privilege of leaving and feeling really good about what she's accomplished and what MCE has accomplished. So thank you, Denise. It's been a pleasure to work with you.
Thank you, Tom, and I wish you all the best as well. Can I say a couple words just real quick? I know it's really late and you've got a lot of other things. I just want to, it was, such a joy at the beginning of this to not just hear about Charles McClashen as an award, but to have actually worked with him at the beginning of all of this. I treasured that. I treasure the beginning of watching MCE grow. I really feel like I've been there since infancy. And man, it's turned into a major, wonderful, outstanding adult. And it's been really an honor, and I treasure the time that I've had with everyone. Staff has been unbelievable. Dawn, the team that you've built there has been exceptional from the beginning. You are exceptional and continue to be. And I feel honored that I've been able to work with you, and also with all the different directors that have gone through the years since I've been on in 2011. It's been a joy, and I treasure it. And I will be there. You will see me. George and I are still doing real estate, so if you have any referrals, no, I'm just kidding. But anyway, thank you guys so much. I treasure you and wish you all the best as well.
Okay, thank you, Denise. So we actually do have some business here. So I need a motion and a second to.
I'd like to move this resolution, Chair Butt.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, motion by Kohler, second by Perry. Let's call the roll, please.
Belvedere,
Yes.
Venetia, Concord,
Yes. No, I'm Concord. And yes.
Contra Costa County, Corte Madera,
Absolutely.
Danville,
Yes.
El Cerrito,
Yes.
Fairfax,
Yes.
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lafayette,
Yes.
Larkspur,
Yes.
County of Marin,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Mill Valley,
Yes.
Moraga, Napa,
Yes.
Novato, Oakley,
Yes.
Pinole,
Yes.
Pittsburgh,
Yes.
thank you. Pleasant Hill,
Yes.
Richmond,
Yes.
Ross, San Anselmo, San Pablo,
Yes.
San Rafael,
Yes, thank you.
San Ramon,
Yes.
Sausalito,
Yes.
Solano, Tiburon,
Yes.
Vallejo, Walnut Creek.
Yes.
And I just wanted to clarify, is this for Director Apples?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
Okay, we're gonna back up and do item 12, which is the resolution for me, because I can't leave until you guys vote me out. So I need a motion.
I would like to make a motion to move approval.
I'll
Okay.
second that.
Okay, motion by Scales Preston, second by Quinto. Call the roll, please.
Belvedere,
Yes.
Venetia,
Yes.
Concord,
Well, okay, we'll do it.
Contra Costa County, Corte Madera,
Yes.
Danville,
Yes.
El Cerrito,
Yes.
Fairfax,
Yes.
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lafayette,
Yes.
Larkspur,
Yes.
County of Marin,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Mill Valley,
Yes.
Moraga, Napa, Napa, Novato, Oakley,
Yes.
Pinole,
Yes.
Pittsburgh,
Yes.
Pleasant Hill,
Yes.
Richmond,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
San Anselmo, San Pablo,
Yes.
San Rafael,
Yes.
San Ramon,
Yes.
Sausalito,
Yes.
Solano, Tiburon,
Yes.
Vallejo, Walnut Creek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now we'll move to item 14, resolution 2022-19, or 20, I'm sorry, honoring Director Ford Green. Is Ford with us tonight? I didn't see him.
Ford was going to try to join, although I know it's gotten a bit late, so it looks like he might not be able to join us. I did just give him a shout out to let him know, but I think we can go ahead. He may not be able to join us.
Oh, he may be out there listening in the ether somewhere. So
That's exactly right. And so for this one, we're going to hear from Director Haroff.
Thanks, Don. Yes, this is the resolution of the Board of Directors honoring Ford Green. Whereas Ford Green was elected to the San Anselmo Town Council in 2007, serving 4 terms as a council member and serving as mayor in 2010, 2015, and 2019. And whereas Director Green was appointed to serve on the MCE Board of Directors on January 5th, 2012, where he has served for 10 years on behalf of the town of San Anselmo, additionally serving as chair of the technical committee and a member of the executive committee and a member of any number of important MCE ad hoc committees. Whereas Director Green's dedication as chair of MCE's technical committee was instrumental to decision-making on dozens of renewable energy contracts, including the recent contract with Golden Fields to provide 100 megawatt solar plus 75 megawatt storage system, including 100 hours of community benefit time and pollinator-friendly habitat. Whereas Director Green asked tough questions and made compelling arguments to enrich dialogue at board and committee meetings, always encouraging MCE to work with determination towards fair outcomes for the community and for the planet. Whereas Director Green represented his San Anselmo constituents skillfully and effectively as a member of the MCE Board of Directors, passing climate emergency resolution in 2020 and enabling participation and collaboration throughout the San Anselmo community in climate emergency planning through the formation of the town's Climate Action Commission. Whereas Ford Green has inspired collegiality and embraced a commitment to climate action. Whereas the MCE Board of Directors and staff thank Director Green for his support and engagement with the agency, its mission, and its vision. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Directors of MCE that the MCE Board and staff do hereby extend to Ford Green our appreciation for his dedicated service, our congratulations on his future endeavors, and like the rest of the folks who are honoring here tonight, our best wishes for his continued success, happiness, and good health in the years to come. That's all I wanted to read, but I'll finish with a personal note. Ford was also one of the longest serving members of the board, or has been. He was here when I joined in 2013. And he and I have had the opportunity to work together in not only board meetings, but on virtually every one of the ad hoc committees that I can think this organization has ever had. And he has always made a contribution in a positive way to the outcome of those meetings and those activities. And he wasn't always easy to deal with sometimes because he was very assertive in his strong feelings for what he thought was important. And he never shied from expressing those feelings. And I valued that and was impressed when he did that. So I hope you are out there in the ether somewhere, Ford, listening in. We will miss you just like we will miss all the other ones we're saying goodbye to tonight. And thank you very much for your efforts.
Thank you, Kevin. Are there any other comments from board members? Dawn, go ahead.
Yeah, I would just like to make a comment that we are very, very grateful and indebted to Director Green for bringing so much passion to the agency. He really encouraged us to, fight the good fight, particularly when we were facing intense pressures at the CPUC and difficult engagement with the incumbent utility. And he had a very clear sense of what needed to be done and was a great voice for the community and what the community wanted and for justice, kind of fighting the fair fight. So he will be deeply missed and has definitely left a wonderful mark on the agency and will be remembered for many years to come.
Okay, any other comments? Go ahead, Jamie.
Thanks, Director Green. If you're listening, I just want to say that I also will miss you so much. I especially appreciated your wonderful enthusiasm and special zest that you brought to our board, and want to thank you for being such a passionate voice for MCE. I remember you writing several op-eds in the Marin IJ when things were a little bit more of a struggle for us to be able to offer our services because of some external threats that we were facing. So thank you for your advocacy and leadership.
Any other comments? You know, Ford's a very interesting guy. I first met Ford, you know, Ford's a lawyer, and way back in the day, this is before I was on MCE, he retained me as an architect to be an expert witness in some construction litigation he was handling. And, you know, we got to talking, and I found out that his specialty in the legal field was litigating against cults. And he was an expert in cults and had participated in deprogramming people who had been sucked into cults. So it's very interesting. And, you know, Ford's my kind of guy. He litigated against the city council, which I can relate to. And he's another board member who is really a hard worker. He served on so many committees and really got into it and set a great example for people coming on to be involved. So I'm gonna miss Ford like everybody else. So I do need a motion on Ford. Maybe I'll make it. I'll move we approve the resolution honoring Director Ford Green.
And I'd like to second that, Tom. Thank you. It's Kevin.
Okay. Motion by Butt, second by Haroff. Call a roll, please.
Belvedere,
Yes.
Benicia,
Yes.
Concord,
Yes.
Contra Costa County, Corte Madera,
Yes.
Danville,
Yes.
El Cerrito,
Yes.
Fairfax,
Yes.
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lafayette,
Yes.
Larkspur,
Yes.
County of Marin,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Mill Valley,
Yes.
Moraga, Napa,
Yes.
Novato, Oakley,
Yes.
Pinole,
Yes.
Pittsburgh,
Yes.
Pleasant Hill,
Yes.
Richmond,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
San Anselmo, San Pablo,
Yes.
San Rafael,
Yes.
San Ramon,
Yes.
El Solito,
Yes.
Solano, Tiburon,
Yes.
Vallejo, Walnut Creek.
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay, thank you. Next item 15, resolution 2022-21, honoring Director Brad Wagenknecht. And I have the honor of extolling Brad's virtues, which I'll just move right into. So Brad Wagenknecht was elected to the Napa Board of Supervisors in 1999, where he served as a representative for 23 years. He was appointed to serve as the first Napa representative on the MCE Board of Directors, September 18, 2014, where he has served 8 years, additionally serving as a member of the Executive Committee, Ad Hoc Contracts Committee, and Ad Hoc Expansion Committee. And by the way, he's the only director who represents a whole county. So he's kind of like a super director, you know. He built so much trust and respect through his years of leadership that the county of Napa, along with the cities of American Canyon, Calistoga, Napa, St. Helena, and Yountville chose him as their representative on the MCE board, which I just talked about. He supported local jobs and local energy in Napa County and was a key partner in the development of renewable energy sites in Napa County, including American Canyon Solar. He represented the County of Napa constituents skillfully and effectively as a member of the MCE Board of Directors and was instrumental in giving a voice to MCE and the Napa Valley Climate Action Committee. He worked alongside MCE staff on legislative efforts, often traveling to meetings with key stakeholders in his district and Sacramento to help explain and advocate MCE's efforts. He inspires unity and has embraced a commitment to climate action, displayed by his leadership and his conscientious and thoughtful service. Whereas the MCE Board of Directors and staff thank Director Wagenknecht for his support and engagement with the agency, its mission, and its vision, and now therefore be resolved by the Board of Directors of MCE that the MCE Board and staff do hereby extend to Brad Wagenknecht our appreciation for his dedicated service, our congratulations on his future endeavors, and our best wishes for his continued success, happiness, and good health in the years to come. So we have some additional comments. Go ahead, Director Rice.
Yes, thank you. So first off, it's really tough being a W, isn't it? I had a personal story. I made a vow to myself when I was like in 3rd grade. If I ever get married, I was going to marry somebody with the last name that began in the middle of the alphabet. So they wouldn't be at the very beginning or the very end, just for this reason. But anyway, hey, Brad, I just want to say thank you so much for your service on MCE and on so many other regional boards beyond your own Napa role as supervisor and all that great public service. You've carried the water and the energy and the passion and the humanity for Napa in a whole host of different ways. And so this is my, for our years on the Air Quality District together, you're just, an incredible public servant and an even better human being and the kindest person most of us will probably ever have a chance to meet. So thank you so much.
Ah, shucks.
Director Kohler, go ahead.
Yes. Well, Brad, it's a pleasure to see you at one of your last meeting days, and I guess it's like going to eulogies for you as well. But I first got to know Brad when I was staff at the Bay Area Air Quality Management District and found him to be incredibly knowledgeable, respectful, asked great questions. And then I got to serve with him on the MCE board and got to know him at a different level and find him to be very thoughtful, a man of few words, but when he does speak, he speaks with very sage wisdom and experience and brings a lot. And most recently, I got to spend time with Brad at the Cal LAFCO conference. I got to understand that he serves on almost everything in the world. So there'll be a lot of big shoes to fill in many of the agencies that you serve on. And I just want to say it's been an honor getting to know you at this level and working with you on the executive committee and other committees through MCE. And I wish you all the best. Thank you, Brad.
Dawn, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to give a big thank you to you, Dr. Wagenknecht. It's just been such a pleasure to work with you over these many years. I've learned a lot from you, particularly regarding how you just bring positivity and trust everywhere you go. It was amazing when Napa first joined MCE and then the cities and towns followed, and they all just wanted you to be their representative. And that's just a sign of a tremendous amount of trust and leadership. And I think that your positive spirit has really impacted those around you and led to just being able to do great things. I've really appreciated all the times that you've reached out to me with a heads up or a, hey, are you aware of this? Kind of helping me and other staff connect the dots on things to make sure that we're getting things done that are important in communities. I've also really appreciated all the time that you've taken to help us with legislative meetings and meetings with other key stakeholders. It's made a big impact, and we've done a lot together in Marin. So I'm sorry in Napa, because it's been your guidance in helping us find where the nooks and crannies are that we can be adding solar and EV charging stations, working with the community college. We've just been able to have a lot of impact, and that's because of your great leadership. You will be missed, but you have definitely left your mark, and your legacy will live on for many years.
Well, thank you, Don.
Director Harold, go ahead.
Just real briefly, because I won't repeat all the accolades, which are all well deserved. But the one thing I will say is that I will miss Brad at in one respect that maybe others may not share or even appreciate necessarily. Back in the day when those of us who worked in downtown San Francisco actually worked in downtown San Francisco, and I could walk to the City Club because it was close to my office, where the Power Association of Northern California would have its monthly lunches, which were always very nice. And I always made a habit of going to it because Dawn was kind enough to pay for my lunch. And I enjoyed them immensely and always learned quite a lot. And I also mostly enjoyed the fact that Brad, because he didn't have to walk just down the street to attend these lunches, he had to drive all the way from Napa. And I knew that. But whenever he showed up at one of those lunches, which was frequently, it always kind of brought a smile to my face that I had a fellow traveler there in the room, along with MCE staff and other friends of our organization. So I will miss that, Brad. Maybe once we all get back into the city again, I can invite you down.
I took the ferry down, but that was
all right. Close enough.
Better
You still had to travel.
Better than driving.
Jamie Tuckey, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Director Wagner Connect. I just wanted to give you a shout out for the great sense of humor that you brought to our board. I hope that someone will carry that on. It won't be me. But I really appreciated that. And I remember when Napa first joined, you coming to the community events when we were doing our community outreach and sharing some just great stories, and really appreciated everything that you brought. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I feel kind of like a piker compared to the others that have gone off tonight. I haven't been here a decade yet, so but thank you. This has been a pleasure to be on this board, and we really are doing God's work. It's moving a lot of stuff that we're actually making a difference in the environment. And thank you.
Okay, thank you, Brad. We're gonna miss you. So we do need a motion on Brad.
I'll move the resolution recognizing Director Wagner Connect.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion by Rice, second by Kohler. Call the roll, please.
Belvedere,
Yes.
Benicia,
Yes.
Concord,
Yes.
Contra Costa County, Corte Madera,
Yes.
Danville,
Yes.
El Cerrito,
Yes.
Fairfax,
Yes.
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lafayette, Larkspur.
Sorry.
Yes.
Was that Lafayette?
Yes.
Thank you.
And Larkspur's yes too.
Thank you. County of Marin,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Mill Valley,
Yes.
Moraga, Napa,
Yes, and I want to know that I voted yes for Mr. Mayor Butt's resolution.
Novato, Oakley,
Yes.
Pinole,
Yes.
Thank you. Pittsburgh,
Yes.
Pleasant Hill,
Yes.
Richmond,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
San Anselmo, San Pablo,
Yes.
San Rafael,
Yes.
San Ramon,
Yes.
Sausalito, Solano, Tiburon.
Yes.
Thank you. Vallejo, Walnut Creek,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, thank you. So now we're on to item 16. MCE cannot go leaderless for long, and we believe in a peaceful transition of power here. So we're going to start by we're going to elect some officers, and we're going to start with the chair. And we've had one write-in request for that position. That's Chanel Scales Preston. And I am going to open up the floor to see if there are any nominations from the floor. Kevin, Aroff, you had a hand up. Did you want to say something?
I was going to nominate, make a nomination. I don't have anything else to add.
Okay, so in this case, we don't even need a nomination. Director Scales Preston has been nominated, and are there any nominations from the floor? I don't see any, so I would entertain a motion now to approve her as our incoming chair.
Let me make that motion if I could.
I
Okay.
second that. Oh, excuse me.
Okay, motion by her off, second by Kohler. Is that right?
I think Gabe got that.
Okay, let's call the roll on that one, please.
And actually, before we call the roll, I just wanted to clarify that just for administrative transitioning over the holidays, we are recommending that the effective date of the transition be January 10th, which is the date where Director Chair Butt rotates off of his council. So that would be the date of the transition if the maker of the motion is amenable to that add-on.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, let's do a roll call vote.
Belvedere,
Yes.
Benicia,
Yes.
Concord,
Yes.
Contra Costa County, Corte Madera,
Yes.
Danville,
Yes.
El Cerrito,
Yes.
Fairfax,
Yes.
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lafayette,
Yes.
Larkspur.
Yes.
Thank you. County of Marin,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Mill Valley,
Yes.
Moraga, Napa,
Yes.
Novato, Oakley,
Yes.
Pinole, Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Pleasant Hill,
Yes.
Richmond,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
San Anselmo, San Pablo,
Yes.
San Rafael,
Yes.
San Ramon,
Yes.
Sausalito, Solano, Tiburon,
Yes.
Vallejo, Walnut Creek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. So the next one we'll take up is vice chair, and we have two candidates that have been nominated in writing before this meeting, Gabe Quinto and Barbara Kohler. And I will entertain any additional nominations from the floor if there are any at this time. And I don't see any, so I will also, if you're so inclined, I will allow Director Quinto and Director Kohler 2 or 3 minutes to make a campaign speech if they wish. You don't have to, but you're welcome to if you'd like. Um, Director Quinto, what's your pleasure?
Sure. I'll speak briefly. Thank
Okay.
you, Chair. Hello, everyone. Mayor Gabe Quinto from the city of El Cerrito, and I have been an alternate to this board for Greg Lyman, former mayor of El Cerrito. And we did join MCE back in 2015, so off and on. When Mayor Lyman retired, I took over his seat. So I've been on this board for a few years now, and I would like to continue the work that we've been doing. And it was Mayor Tom Butt that encouraged El Cerrito to join MCE, and it's great and fantastic to see the majority of cities in Contra Costa County to be part of MCE. I am a former elected member of the Sierra Club, the local Sierra Club here for the 4 Bay Area counties. And so I've worked with many of you through the years. I'm on the board of other regional boards, such as the Contra Costa Mayors Conference and the Cal Cities statewide. And I look forward to working with everyone here. Thank you.
Director Kohler?
Yes. Hi, I'm Barbara Kohler. I'm now the vice mayor of Fairfax. And after so many people are rotating off MCE, I believe Director Haroff and I are what might be considered the OG. I was alternate in 2013 and appeared many times and have been on continually since then. I've seen the agency grow since those early years and have done my best as a board member to ensure the agency has been fiscally, environmentally, and legally responsible and sound as we evolve. And also to ensure while we take innovative cutting-edge steps, that we allow Dawn and staff the flexibility to do so while protecting the agency's interests. I believe my institutional knowledge, hard work, and common sense will be critical as we move forward over the coming years with our new chair, who is one of the more recent folks coming with incredible experience. I'm a scientist, an environmental consultant with decades of experience as high-level management for state and regional government and 10 years as a local elected. I believe I have the technical and political expertise with a practical approach to assist the agency. I do my homework and I care deeply about MCE and our mission and vision. And thanks for considering me tonight.
Okay, thank you. I just got to say, these are 2 incredibly outstanding candidates. And so what we're going to do, Jessica's going to call the roll, and you're either going to say Quinto or Kohler, and then whoever has the most votes will be our new vice chair. So go ahead, Jessica.
Thank you. Belvedere,
Kohler.
Venetia,
Quinto.
Concord,
Quinto.
Contra Costa, Corte Madera,
Kohler.
Bienville,
Quinto.
El Cerrito,
Quinto.
Fairfax,
Kohler.
Fairfield,
Kohler.
Lafayette,
Quinto.
Larkspur,
Kohler.
County Omran,
Kohler.
Martinez,
Quinto.
Mill Valley,
Quinto.
Moraga, Napa,
Kohler.
Novato, Oakley,
Quinto.
Pinot,
Quinto.
Pittsburgh,
Quinta.
Pleasant Hill,
Quinto.
Richmond,
Quinto.
Ross,
Kohler.
San Anselmo, San Pablo,
Quinto.
San Rafael,
Kohler.
San Ramon,
Kohler.
Sausalito, Solano, Tiburon,
Kohler.
Vallejo, Walnut Creek.
Quinto.
Give me a moment while I count these up. The motion carries with 14 for Quinto and 11 for Kohler.
Okay, thank you very much, and congratulations, Director Quinto, and thank you, Director Kohler, for running for this position. So we have one more. Now, normally committees elect their own chairs, but the technical committee is going to meet before. Wait a minute, I got to get this right. Help me, Dawn.
Yeah. We have lost our chair of technical committee because Ford Green was the chair and has rotated off of his council. So we are chairless right now and need to have a chair to call our next meeting to order. So we are asking the board, we're kind of delegating TechCom's authority to the board this evening to appoint a chair.
Okay, thank you. I need a little help there. So at this time, we have only one write-in candidate, Devin Murphy, for technical committee board chair. And are there any other nominations from the floor? I don't see any, so I am looking for a motion to confirm Director Murphy as chair of the technical committee.
I would like to motion.
I'll second it.
Okay. Director Rice, you have a hand up. Did you have a question or something?
Yeah, no, I was gonna make the motion. But I also wanted to take the opportunity to invite other newer board members, directors, or others who are not sitting on a committee to join the technical committee. I would looking at the director, new director from Corte Madera. Everyone thinks that the executive committee is the sexy place to be, but actually it's the technical committee. And it would be really great to have more folks joining that committee. 8:30 on a Thursday is usually doable, and it's quite a way to start the morning. So anyway, that's my pitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's call the roll on that motion. Did anybody else have a question on this? Director Perry, did you have a question before we call the roll?
No question. I was just going to say, for those of us who have day jobs, sometimes the 8:30 a.m. is tough when that's the start of the day. So I would be interested in the technical committee if it weren't for a conflict those days. Thanks.
It's before your work starts, Matt.
We've got meetings starting at 8.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Let's call the roll, please.
Belvedere,
Yes.
Benicia,
Yes.
Concord, Contra Costa County, Corte Madera,
Yes.
Danville,
Yes.
El Cerrito,
Yes.
Concord, yes, I had a technical problem.
thank you. Fairfax,
Yes.
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lafayette,
Yes.
Larkspur, County of Marin,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Mill Valley,
Yes.
Moraga, Napa,
Yes.
Novato, Oakley,
Yes.
Pinole,
Yes.
thank you. Pittsburgh,
Yes.
Pleasant Hill,
Yes.
Richmond,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
San Anselmo, San Pablo,
Yes.
San Rafael,
Yes.
San Ramon,
Yes.
South Salito,
Yes.
Solano, Tiburon,
Yes.
Vallejo, Walnut Creek,
Yes.
motion carries.
Jessica, this is Kevin Haroff. I think I may have been on mute. Did you get my vote?
I did not, but thank you. I did now.
It's yes.
Thank
Okay,
you.
well, congratulations to all the new leadership. You got your work cut out for you, but it's going to be very rewarding, and I'm sure you're going to do very well by this organization. So that brings us to item 17, board matters and staff matters.
And actually, Director, but before we jump into that, I just want to make an opportunity to add a couple of folks to our committees. We have a few interested folks in executive committee, and I wanted to add Director Eli Beckman is also interested, along with Director David Fong. And if there's anyone else that wants to get added, now is the time, and we would need to do that with an action.
Okay, anybody else want to jump on a committee right now? This is a great time to show your enthusiasm and motivation and volunteer for a committee. Remember, we heard the technical committee was looking for a few good members.
And
I think I'd be interested in the ad hoc contracts committee. I think there's only a couple people on that.
Excellent. Anyone else?
I'd be interested in the virtual power plant ad hoc committee.
Excellent. Okay, anyone else?
Sorry, Tom, who was, I didn't, adding to the
Director.
virtual.
Yeah, Director Max Perry.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, well, that'll flesh those. committees.
I got
Mr.
a
Chair.
question. Eddie.
Is that you, Eddie?
Yeah, I'm on this bond committee. Is that being disassembled, or is it continuing, or what's going on?
All of our ad hoc committees are disassembled at the end of the year so that they don't get confused with standing committees. There's kind of a legal discrepancy.
Okay, no problem.
So that one is dissolved at this point. If we need it again, we'll reform it.
We'll put your name up at the top of the list. Okay, Director
Okay.
Beck, you got a hand up?
Yeah, do we have a meeting date and time for the virtual power plant committee?
At this time, we don't. We're shooting for sometime in February, late February timeline at this time, but we will, do a doodle poll. Jessica will do a doodle poll to find the right time for it.
Sounds good. Well, I would put my hand up for that then on a provisional basis, just on, with the understanding that depending on when the date and times are, I may
Sure.
not be able to make it in the end.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for stepping up. Okay, now I'll jump back to board matters and staff matters.
And
is there-
actually, I think we need to take action on that if we could.
is
Chair.
that an action item?
Yeah, adding folks
Okay.
to committees.
Does somebody want to list all those people so we know?
I can
Somebody-
do that. Yeah, the folks that I have wanting to be added to the executive committee are Director Fong and Director Beckman. Did I miss anyone on XCOM? Okay, and for technical committee, I don't have any new additions unless anyone wants to raise a hand. Okay, for the ad hoc contracts committee, we have Director Kohler adding herself to that, and also Scott Perkins and Kevin Haroff would be on that contracts committee. Did I miss anyone? Okay, an ad hoc committee for the virtual power plant. We have Gina Dawson, Devin Murphy, Katie Rice, and we'd be adding Max Perry and Eli Beckman. And then for the ad hoc audit committee for 2023, the interested folks are Sally Wilkinson, Dave Fung, and Kevin Haroff. And at this time, I don't have any new additions to the, we don't have any other committees. Director Murphy?
Okay, Director Murphy, got it.
Yeah, I just wanted to suggest that this item be added to our agenda for next month as well in January. I know just because of my conversations with some folks here that we're still in the transition of new council members, and I think there hopefully will be some interest. I know 8:30 for technical committee. We're a fun committee, but I know that it's challenging, but perhaps with new council members, there may be some folks who are new board members as well who would like to join. So
yeah,
just wanted to make that.
Good point. Okay, do we have a motion to approve those ad hoc committee appointments?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Director Darling seconded. Who was the motioner? Thier?
Thier.
Got it. Okay. Okay, let's call a roll, please.
Belvedere,
Yes.
Benicia,
Yes.
Concord, Contra Costa County.
Yes, for Concord.
Thank you. Corte Madera,
Yes.
Danville,
Yes.
El Cerrito,
Yes.
Fairfax.
Yes.
Thank you. Fairfield,
Yes.
Lafayette,
Yes.
Larkspur,
Yes.
County of Marin. Martinez,
Yes.
Mill Valley,
Yes.
Moraga, Napa,
Yes.
Novato, Oakley.
Yes.
Thank you. Pinole,
Yes.
thank you. Pittsburgh,
Yes.
Pleasant Hill,
Yes.
Richmond,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
San Anselmo, San Pablo,
Yes.
San Rafael.
Yes.
Thank you. San Ramon,
Yes.
Sausalito, Solano, Tiburon, Yes. Vallejo, Walnut Creek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, now we're at item 17. Board matters and staff matters. Does anybody have anything else they want to bring up tonight? Okay, I don't see any. And before we adjourn, I just want to say that it's been a great pleasure serving with all of you. I'm going to miss you, and I want to wish all of you a great holiday season and a happy new year.
Thank you, Tom.
So with that,
Same here.
Thank you,
Tom.
Thank you.
With that,
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy
Good night.
holidays.
Healthy.